Hey everybody, it's Lisa Davis here from Lisa Davis Body Construction. I want to talk today about how much protein do I need? What is the right amount? It can be pretty confusing to figure out how much is the appropriate amount of protein for our specific needs. We go on the internet and we're lucky to have that, but it's just so much information. Some people put protein up on a pedestal and act like that's all we need, and other people don't think we need any protein, and it's just anywhere in between, and it's just so hard to know. And we have different needs. Some of us might be lifting a lot of weights and be really active and have higher protein needs than someone who's sedentary. And research shows that as we age, we need more protein just to maintain our muscle mass. And there's people who are trying to lose weight, and they know that if they eat protein, it's slower to digest and it keeps them feeling fuller longer. So wading through all this stuff can be a daunting task. When we're trying to find out information, we want to find someone that we can trust, that is getting the results that we want, and we can do the things that they're doing to get those results. I've been a certified fitness instructor since I was 19 years old. I started teaching way back then, and every other year I have to renew my certifications. My main certifications, just so you know, are through American Council on Exercise, also known as ACE. So I have my group fitness certification and my personal training certification through them. And I have multiple other certifications. I have to renew every other year for these, and I have to take courses to get enough credits to renew every other year. And many of the courses that I take are on nutrition, but I have learned a lot over the last 36 years with my certification and the courses I've taken. I won't go into too much about this, but personally, I do not like the idea of too high of protein or using protein as my main fuel source. I do feel it's very important to get enough protein though. It's just that that's not going to be my main fuel source. I'm about to have a birthday, and I'm going to turn 55 years old. And aging is tough, but I'm convinced it's tougher if you're not healthy. And sometimes there's just nothing we can do about that. Genetics or accidents or injuries or illnesses that we can't avoid. Those things happen. But we can do our best on the things that we can control, and I think that that's going to help us have such a better quality of life as we age. My why is my grandkids. I want to be healthy and be able to run and play with them and not get injured. I talk about it all the time on my videos, my exercise videos. I want to be able to start a lawnmower if I had to and not hurt myself, throw my back out. And we know we can get injured doing things. It happens even when we're being careful, but so much less likely if we are flexible and strong. And along with that, our nutrition is huge. Fueling our bodies properly, giving ourselves enough of the nutrients we need to build and maintain muscle and have the energy that we need. When you're trying to figure out how much protein, check around. But go with people that are getting the results you want. Pattern your eating and your workouts and things after people who are getting the results that you want. Not someone who just says it, or someone who hasn't had enough time to show that they know what they're talking about. So let's delve now into how much protein should we be getting. The short answer is we want a minimum of at least 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. And we'll talk about how to figure this out here in just a minute, but that's the minimum. As we age, once we reach about the age 40 to 50, right in that zone, we even need a little bit more than that just to maintain our muscle mass, or we're going to start just losing muscle and our body kind of eats itself, so to speak. So recommendations for protein for people in the 40 to 50 age group and above goes up. It's going to be like 1 gram per kilogram of body weight up to 1.2 grams. And if people are active, they even need a little bit more. So the range there is 1.1 grams to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. And someone who exercises intensely, that maybe is a weightlifter or a competitive athlete, is going to even be higher still. That recommendation is between 1.2 to 1.7 grams per kilogram of body weight. And current research kind of suggests that anything over 2 is excessive. There's a few detriments I see there. When people have too much protein, they don't have enough room in their diet for enough carbohydrates, which include fruits and vegetables and things with the micronutrients that we need, the vitamins and minerals there, and the other things that are gained by getting enough fruits and vegetables. And that includes fiber. So I'm just sharing my experience here, not just what I've learned, but also what I've seen in practice, both with my clients and my friends, myself included. I practice what I preach. It's important to remember that carbohydrates and proteins both have 4 calories per gram. So some people might try to make it seem like protein is less calories per gram, but it's not. 4 calories per gram for both, and fats are 9 calories per gram. Alcohol, if you like to have a drink, just keep in mind it's not got a lot of micronutrients, so we usually don't count it, but it does have calories. So there's 7 calories per gram in alcohol. Just something to keep in mind if you're calculating your calories. Also keep in mind that complex carbohydrates break down slowly. They do tend to often contain protein in them, such as whole grains. They are kind of a good source of protein. And they're slowly broken down in your body for fuel, so you have longer times with sustained energy continually being delivered to your muscles. I like to keep in mind whenever I talk about an eating plan or a diet, is it something I can do the rest of my life? Because if it's not, I don't really see a point into going into it. Because everybody I've seen through the years, and I've got a lot of years of experience with this, everyone I see who does any sort of radical thing, yeah, they might lose weight. They always gain it back, plus more. I can't think of anybody that's done something radical that didn't gain it back. I don't want that, and I don't think it's healthy for your heart. I don't think it's healthy for your mind to go through that trauma. I think it's better to make small changes and gradually go through these things and make them part of my life. If you haven't been living the healthiest life up till now, it's okay. Don't despair. We can't go back and fix or change anything that we've done in the past, but we can start now to try to do better. So, how I do my calculations right now, I have found for me that if I get my protein, all the rest falls into place. I don't overeat. I'm not hungry. But it's not my main part of my diet. The main part of my diet is probably from carbohydrates, from vegetables, fruits, and grains. They seem to give me more energy, and I need a lot of energy. I've got 6 grandkids with 2 more on the way, and they come over a lot, and I love them to come. And I want to play with them, and I need the energy, man. I need it. So I just don't get enough if I had too much protein. I have to have the carbohydrates to break down for fuel. But I found that if I get that, even though protein's not the bulk of my diet, if I get it, everything else falls into place. So it's easy for me to just count my protein grams, and I just pretty much stay where I need to be on everything else. So we're gonna calculate now how much protein using that 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. And that's the low end, but some of us haven't been getting enough protein. So we're gonna start on that 0.8 and then move up. Don't overdo it right now. Just get in the habit of counting grams, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. So I'm 54, almost 55. So I clearly am over the 0.8, or else I would lose muscle mass. But I'm still gonna use the 0.8, and I'm gonna use myself as everything else for these calculations. So first we're gonna calculate our weight in kilograms. And if you already live in a country or a place that you do your weight in kilograms, you can skip this part and pick up in a second. But if you're doing your weight in pounds, we're gonna have to divide that. So I weigh between 130 and 135 depending on the day. So let's say 135, and I'm gonna divide that by 2.2 to get my kilograms. And that brings me to 61.36 kilograms. So, well, I didn't have to erase that. But 61.36 kilograms, now I'm gonna times that by 0.8. And that's 49. 49 grams is my minimum protein. It's not 49 calories, 49 grams. Now, let's do it again, just for practice, with what I'm shooting for. I'm very active, and I'm above 50, so I'm gonna take, well, we already know it was 61.36, but let's do it again. 135 pounds divided by 2.2, so that was 61.36. Now we're gonna times that by 1.5, because that's gonna be the range I'm shooting for. I lift weights, I work out hard every day, and I'm active. So 1.5, and that's 92. 92.04, so 92. I'm shooting for 92 grams of protein per day. Now, before you get all crazy on me, some people have said to me before, oh, that's you. I weigh 200 pounds. I need more than you. Yeah, you do, but it's all relative. It's still the same percentages. So if I weighed 200 pounds, I would also need more total calories, and therefore my percentage would stay the same, but more protein, but it's all relative. So just keep that in mind. Don't get crazy. And if you're not getting enough, like I said, start with the 0.8. That was almost half as much. So much easier to reach that goal, right? Okay, so we know I'm shooting for 92 grams per day. And I'm just gonna go over real quick, like a typical day. I don't eat the exact same thing every day, but similar. And once you learn these things, it's easy. It's really easy to calculate. You don't have to count all your calories and all that. So for breakfast, right after I work out first thing in the morning. So once I'm done, I come in and I eat breakfast. And I usually, let's just say that I'm having shredded wheat, which I do a lot. So shredded wheat has 7 grams of protein per serving. So I'm gonna have that, and then I'll put on some milk. And I usually put in 1% milk, and that's 8 grams per cup. So I have measured, and I use about a cup, sometimes a little bit more, of milk. So right there I've got 15 grams. So obviously 7 in the cereal plus 8 from the milk, 15 grams right off the bat for breakfast. Then, since I'm getting older, don't you hate that? Anyway. Another thing I do every day lately is I have some collagen. And I like this kind, it's unflavored. I just mix it into another drink that I'm having with my breakfast. And 2 scoops is a serving, just once a day. And it's 18 grams. So I have that with my breakfast. So I've already had 15, and I'm gonna add 18 more. So I'm at 33 for breakfast. I'm like a third of the way there already, my goal. So now let's go to lunch. On a typical lunch day, I usually have some 100% whole wheat bread. And I like the Augustin Farms brand right now. That's kind of my thing. And I usually have 2 slices of that with my lunch. I'll make a sandwich. And let's just say, sometimes it's a tuna sandwich, or sometimes it's a chicken sandwich. Sometimes I just have toast with some meat on the side. But let's say for today that it's peanut butter, a peanut butter sandwich. Now, which I don't like, but I will eat it if it has honey on it too. Honey can be good for you. Anyway, so 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, generally, depending on the peanut butter, is about 7 grams. So let's say I'm adding that, so 33 plus 7, so that's 40, that's easy. And then the bread is 4 grams of protein per slice, and I'm having 2, so that's 8 more. So we're at 48 with my lunch. And then I'll have a vegetable, sometimes a couple different vegetables. But I don't, even if they have protein in the vegetables, I don't count those smaller sources unless I'm just a couple short, and then I'll use those in my calculations. But another thing I do almost every day with lunch is I have a yogurt. So an example of something I might eat is a Tillamook yogurt, a Greek yogurt usually. This one's 140 calories. I prefer not to have artificial flavors. This one is naturally flavored. And like I said, 140 calories and 14 grams of protein. So I'm gonna add 14 grams. That's like my little dessert, right? So 48 plus 14, I'm at 62 after lunch. And that's if I didn't have something else. So I'm most of the way there. I don't have much farther to go to get my 92 grams. I only have 30 left. And that's pretty easy to get. When I get to this point at lunch, I can go, okay, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? I can have some chicken, which is relatively low. For a 4-ounce piece of chicken, serving of chicken that's prepared in a low-fat manner, you can get about 30 grams of protein from that and not that many calories, around 230. So let's say I had some chicken with my dinner and I have 30 more, and there I am, 92. I've met my goal already. Again, if I'm short at the end of the day, I could just fill it in with some, like a snack with some almonds. That's 4 grams per most serving of almonds, which isn't a ton. That's why I tried to stick to these bigger sources, but it's something. And I could also have a protein drink. I'm not big on shakes or anything like that for meal replacement. I don't believe in meal replacement things because I feel like we just never really developed the relationship with food that is long-term, like I talked about before. So I don't believe in it for meal replacement, but a supplement, if you have room in it with your calories, I think that's great. So a little bit of a protein drink. I don't want to throw out names because it's already short in the stores and everybody else will go buy them, but whatever. I like the Fairlife drinks that you get at Costco. They're only 150 calories, 30 grams of protein. Boom. If you're short on protein, something like that will put you in. Now don't go buy it out because it's hard to get and I'm tired of not being able to find it. So remember the meals that I gave are just an example. That's just a way that I have been focusing. Try to get my protein. Everything else seems to fall into place. And again, if you're struggling getting enough protein, don't start out with the 1.5 grams. Start out with the 0.8. As you saw in my calculations, that was almost half as much. So it's much easier to get. And if you're struggling to get it, do the 0.8. So just try to focus on getting more and you'll stay full longer and you'll probably feel more satisfied. So that's about all I have today. Drop me a line in the comments if you have any questions or comments about anything we've talked about here today, and I'll try to help you out as much as I can. I think we're all in this together and I want to help you. Have a great day.